Hey everybody, I'm Ray,
And I'm Paul,
and we are the Alconauts.
because we choose to be that way,
Most days.
especially today. But anyways, we have a special guest on today. We have our Alconautic Intelligence Officer, or as we call it, the Alconautic Intern, Jackie. Hey, Jackie.
Hey guys.
How's it going over there?
Oh, not too bad. Can't complain. It's a good day.
It is a good day. I get a sense of deja vu for some reason, but I don't know why. Anyways, why don't you
Wow,
tell
man.
our audience a little bit about yourself?
Awesome. So I'm Jackie. I am a quirky mom of four who just loves to know things, and I'm a little obsessed with trivia facts. So that's why I'm here.
And with Jackie being on board, what we're going to do today is we're going to present to you 5 quirky facts about beer and alcohol. But before we get into that, we're gonna show you guys what the process is. So I'm just gonna point over to here. And that is the process. Ray, do you have the tail of the tape for us?
I do. This week we have got Zane lost his avocado bag from the Refined Fool Brewing Company in Sarnia, Ontario. So what this one is a Brut IPA. So this is a new one for us. We've done some IPAs, but we've never done a Brut IPA. This falls in at 7.6 ABV, so it's a strong beer. Yeah, no, it's your, from what I understand, your straight up IPA, but it's got a bit of a kick, and it's going to be very champagne-like. So
All
they're
right.
saying it's a pale, dry, bubbly delight.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's crack these guys open because, as always, I am thirsty. Oh, I can smell the hops and a little bit of citrus in there. Golden
Alrighty.
in color as it's coming up and nice and clear.
It
Look at
is
that.
beautiful looking.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Look at that pour. Very nice.
It is very, very bubbly.
Now you're saying this is an IPA and a strong beer?
Yeah, it's I think traditionally a lot of IPAs fall in that strong beer category because a lot of IPAs are considerably more than 5%. I mean, we've seen IPAs in the 8% range. We've seen them in the 6.5% range. So,
What makes this a strong beer?
well, I'm assuming it's because of the alcohol by volume number that we've got on that. I don't know where that category starts. Like, is it at 6%, 6.5? I'm not sure. I've never really looked into that. So,
You know what? Let's have our initial taste. Let's find out what this thing is all about. Cheers, guys.
cheers.
And cheers, everybody.
Cheers, all.
Oh, that's pleasant. That's
Yeah.
that's not what I thought it was going to be. To be honest with you.
No.
My initial thoughts is I get a sweetness to it, and then I get a hint of the hops. So it's a very nice combination. I can't quite put my finger on what that taste is. There's a little bit of citrus in there as well, but it's sweet. It's pleasant to taste, and it's pretty smooth. So so far I'm liking it. Jackie, what are your thoughts?
It's honestly, it's not too bad. The fruity sweetness is very light to it. Yeah, it definitely still has like a distinguishable like beer feel, but there is something a little bit more to it, which I like. It's got some nice flavor in there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes down. I like it.
Okay. And Ray, what are you thinking initially?
Yeah, it's initially, yeah, it's a very bright, light IPA. Now, I use the term light not in terms of, the alcohol content, of course, because at being 7.6, it's one of the higher content beers that we've had. But it's got a very light flavor. It's quite effervescent, hence being called a brut, which is similar to a champagne.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a citra hops, so it's a hoppiness that I really enjoy. I really like the IPAs that use the citra hops, so yeah, it's good.
And with that being said, Jackie, as we mentioned before, you have some cool, quirky facts about beer and alcohol. Why don't you start us off with fact number one?
So actually something Ray said just really kind of fits into this. I actually would love to talk about hops. Um, Hops is so kind of integral when it comes to beer. Back in the day when it was originally used in beer, it was used as a preservative to actually keep the beer longer so that people wouldn't have to worry about making new batches or just having it get sick from drinking your beer. And the amazing thing about it is they're actually little flowery kind of buds that they use in it. They filter them out, but the essential oils from inside stay inside the beer, which can add the bitterness and also different flavor profiles, which, as Ray said, this one has a very citric profile to it because more than likely of the hops inside it. And there are different flavors you can get just depending on which ones you use.
Well, that's a good
Yeah.
start. That was a great start to our quirky facts about beer and alcohol. Jackie, what's number two?
Awesome. So, something that a lot of alcohol drinkers tend to like is deep fried food. It's absolutely fantastic if you have a hangover or while you're still drinking. It's fantastic. And a really cool thing is that in Texas at the state fair in 2010, the winner of the deep frying contest was actually deep fried beer, which is very interesting to think of a liquid, a drink, being deep fried. And what they actually do is they take a little dough and they make it into basically a ravioli, and you can put the beer inside it and then just deep fry them or even pan fry them if you wanted to make it at home.
That
That's
just
cool.
blows my mind.
That's cool.
Deep fried beer sounds so
Yeah.
awesome. Like
Now,
I
I
want
would
some right
imagine,
now.
that could be like a bomb inside there when you throw that in the fryer if you don't get all the air out of that pocket.
Do they do it from frozen? Do they freeze the beer? How do they make these things?
From what I've seen, there are a few different recipes, but the one that I was able to find, it was all just done just like room temperature, more or less. I actually do have a link for one of the recipes from WikiHow. It seems a relatively easy one to make at your home versus maybe what they made at the fair might have been more complex, I'd imagine.
And we reserve the right to not take on any liabilities from these things exploding in your deep fryer. So
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely make at your own risk if you know.
Yeah, if you throw those into your deep fryer and yeah, it blows up your entire kitchen, didn't hear it from us, guys.
But the recipe that I saw is pan frying it, which looks like it'd be a little bit like it looked like the oil wasn't even fully covering it either. So like it might be a little bit easier to kind of manage the safety level of that one.
Well, sure, you can use a shallow frying pan that's got a lid, so you can throw that lid on there like a shield to protect yourself.
that's not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
deep frying. It says it in the name, deep fried.
yeah. I think that they lessened it a little bit to make it easier for people.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's have a couple sips, and let's see if our opinion has changed since our initial. So, cheers, guys.
Mhm.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. All right, Jackie, what's your initial thought on this, or secondary
Hmm.
thought? Sorry.
Secondary thought. Um, I think I can feel a little bit the extra alcohol content. Like as you're drinking it, I think you can feel it hits like just a little bit more. It's still, I think, a relatively nice like flavor. I think it's something that you would be able to drink if you are a big beer drinker, or be able to drink if you really don't care that much for beer. I honestly think it's not bad at all. I like it. Yeah.
What about you, Ray?
Yeah, I'm still finding it, like, it's going to sound weird, but light and bright. For a strong beer to say that. I think if these were really, really cold and it was a hot day, they'd be super dangerous.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You'd end up losing your avocado bag.
Maybe that's what happened to Zach.
That's
Zane.
Yeah, Zane.
Zane.
Yeah.
Or Zane, yeah.
I don't think it's Zach
Zane
carrying an
lost his
avocado bag, but
Yeah.
And what is an avocado bag?
it's a bag
Either a
that holds
bag
avocados.
printed like avocados, like this, or a bag full of avocados, perhaps. Maybe
I would
both.
assume the latter of your statement. But you know, from my perspective, in regards to this drink, being the light beer drinker that I am, it is smooth going down. I am finding that the hops are starting to come out. They're a citrusy kind of hop, from what I can tell, and it lingers in the aftertaste. And that's always my thing, is the lingering taste. It's not bad. It's going down really well. I got a feeling that alcoholic ABV percentage is gonna start to get to my head, if it already hasn't. So let us continue on our quest for knowledge, and let us move to the third quirky fact about beer and alcohol.
Alrighty. This plays in also to what you just said. There was a list of the 13 strongest beers. This came out last year, so it's relatively recent. And the strongest one, number one, was actually a beer, had the alcoholic content of 67.5%, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Who in their right mind is making beer that's 67% alcohol?
That would be the Scottish. It actually comes from yeah, yeah, right. It's actually Brewmeister's Snake Venom beer. Yeah, it's supposed to have a really hoppy, kind of malty, carbonated taste, but it's supposed to be. They say it's better sipped like a spirit than drank like a beer, which at that alcohol content you would assume so. You know?
It's funny because I expected that beer to come either from like one of four places: Scotland, Germany, England, or Australia.
Yeah, the list had actually of the 13 on the list, 6 of them were from Scotland. There was a couple from Germany, and I believe it was the Netherlands had was up there as well.
You know what? I can't even fathom what this thing would taste like. I would assume it just tastes like turpentine or something, a hoppy turpentine.
I'd love to taste it. I would so love to try it.
If you guys want to see us drink a high volume alcoholic beer, let us know in the comments down below. I don't know how much this is going to cost, but I got a feeling it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We've got on our Instagram page, we've got a lot of international followers. So I'm going to post a question there and see if we can find, you know, something. If anybody out there happens to know of something that we can get in Canada that's got that kind of alcohol content beer wise.
Maybe even one of your international followers has tried one of these, you know, very strong beers. Maybe they can kind of let you know what you're in for.
That'd be a good idea. A little warning, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, honestly, though.
You get a message from One-Eyed Pete. Arr, don't take it.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't do it. All right, let us move on to fact number 4.
This ties in really well to what we were just talking about because it's all about Europe. Back in the day, they used to actually make a beer soup in medieval Europe. You might be able to find something where you put beer in it, but back in the day, they actually had real beer soups. And now, in more recent times, Europe, you can actually go to certain spas and they will literally bathe you in beer as a physical and mental therapeutic, you know, solution to your problems.
I'm in. Sign me up.
I'm in. Yeah. How do we get this done?
Right?
Open the borders. I gotta go.
Yeah.
The question is though, do they use the same beer bath for each person, or like is it like do they change it? Because that's a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
beer to
good.
go through.
Yeah.
The last thing I need is someone else's like dead skin in beer on me.
Oh. Ah.
Yeah, one would hope it would be changed every time, but then that sounds like it'd be like a really expensive experience. Maybe you'd rather just go to the pub for the night, but
Yes.
either or.
Well, you never know.
Okay.
Sometimes you get the recipe a little bit messed up when you're brewing, and
Yeah,
just sell it off at 10 cents on the dollar for
yeah,
the spa that's using
yeah,
it. So
yeah, yeah. That or they just water it down a whole lot and take like one can and like fill it to your whole tub or something.
exactly.
So you did mention beer soup. Um, is that like was that an actual soup with beer in it?
From what I can see, it was actually like the base of it was actually just made out of a beer. As many people know, back in the day, beer and liquor was used in like instead of water a lot of times just because it was actually safer. The alcohol actually protected them from some of the byproducts in the water.
I've had a Guinness cheddar soup, and it was quite good.
I would definitely like to
Hmm.
try the beer soup as long as there's no dead cells in it from a previous person.
It didn't come from the spa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spa, $50. Soup, $1.
yeah.
Yeesh.
Ooh.
Excuse me, waiter. There's a hair in my soup.
Ew.
The guy before you, yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Jeez.
Um, let's transition into our fifth and final quirky fact about beer and alcohol. Jackie, take us away.
Beautiful. This one's just a little bit of a shorter one, but back when they were building the Great Pyramid of Giza, they would actually pay with a daily ration of beer to the people, the slaves, more or less working on it. So I always thought that was kind of interesting. Whether or not other people would go out there working for beer. Some people would, I'm sure.
Paul and I would work for beer. If you want us to review
Yeah,
your beer, send them on over. We will do it.
I bet you right now, if you go to a university campus and say, we're building a pyramid and we're going to give you a case of beer, they'd be all over
Yeah.
this. I
Oh
think
yeah.
we could create new infrastructure by just paying college and university kids beer. I am at that point in my glass where I think it's time for le chug, as the French would say.
Le chug.
Le Chug.
All right, Ray, lay down the rules.
All right. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say go. We're going to throw these back. First person with the glass back to the table wins the chug. I got my money on Jackie beating Paul. We all set?
Let's try it.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, go. Yes.
Wait, I'm pretty sure that was like neck and neck. I think we tied.
From my end, I totally saw the Jackie's glass go down before yours. So
Yeah, but you know what? Never mind. Anyways, if you know what, I'll give it to Jackie. I'm just gonna assume she beat me. But
As a birthday present for my birthday coming up.
there you go.
I get to win the chug.
So Jackie, what
Or
are
a
your
second.
final thoughts on this beer?
It's good. It goes down really smooth. There's still enough of the beer flavor that it's definitely a solid beer. It is very light for a strong beer. I like it. I definitely think I would take it again if someone gave one to me.
And if you could rate this thing out of 5, what would it be?
No, I'll give it a 4. I like it. I think it's pretty good.
You know, I'm getting this. I don't know why. I'm just getting this feeling of deja vu. but don't mind me. Ray, what is your thoughts on this beer?
Well, I looked at this more than once at the liquor outlet here, and thought, no, not going to do it. No, I'm not a big Brut IPA fan. I've had it this style beer once before from somewhere else, and I wasn't a big fan of it, but I really enjoyed this one. I like how light it is. I like how citrusy it is. I don't want to chug this one again. I don't like the there's just something when you chug this. It's a great sipping beer. This beer is a solid 4 for me. I would buy it again. I'd put it in my fridge. When I have friends over, I'm definitely gonna say, hey, you got to try this. So,
Yeah.
Refined Fool Brewing, great job.
I'm gonna say, Zane, there's definitely a reason why you lost your freaking avocado bag. It's it is a light beer. It is smooth drinking. It's just that citrus hops really lingers in my mouth. I'm not a big fan. Maybe if you like hops, maybe that's your thing. You might enjoy it. Myself, as a light beer drinker, and if you just like light beers, not necessarily my cup of tea. I'm probably gonna say this is a 3.5 for me. I'm not gonna stock it. Not gonna buy it. Would drink it. Okay, maybe possibly buy it again, but on a rare occasion. But I would drink it. But it have to be a really hot day, and it have to be a really cold beer. So 3.5 for me is my final call on Zane, who lost his avocado bag. And I hope, Zane, you find it. I hope.
And there's no avocados in here. I felt like a little deceived because once I looked in, I was like, you know what? Yeah, there's no avocado.
Because Zane lost his avocado bag. That's why there's no avocados in
Oh
there.
my God. He was about to make his avocado brew, and this is what you got instead.
Yeah, I'm really glad we decided to try this one, and I think we should look out for some more Refined Fool Brewing Company beers because it's pretty cool.
So, Jackie, we want to thank you for being on our show as our Alconautic Intern, or as you would like to call yourself, the Alconautic Intelligence Officer. I think you did a fantastic job. Guys, or ladies, if you think Jackie did a great job, put some comments down below. Let us know how well she did. Maybe we can get her back on the show, and she can bring us more quirky facts about beer and alcohol. So thank you once again, Jackie, for being on our show.
Thank you so much for having me on. I've always been a fan, so I appreciate the opportunity to be on the show. And maybe next time I'll be able to bring you some alcoholic food to go with the beer.
Ooh.
I am so in for alcoholic food.
Yes.
And with that being said, I am Paul.
I'm Ray.
And this is
And I'm Jackie.
And we are the Alconauts.
Cheers, all.
Take care.